Our topic for today is gender dysphoria. Hello, I'm Mackie of My Transgender Date, the #1 dating platform for trans women. Before we dive into today's topic, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. We have a new video every week that you don't want to miss. Today's topic is something that trans people experience and is one of the reasons why we undergo a transition. Our topic for today is gender dysphoria. If that term is a bit unfamiliar to you, it's okay. That's probably why you're here watching this, right? No shame there. It's important to know and understand gender dysphoria, especially if you are a trans person going through it or an ally who wants to know more about it. Just a disclaimer though, I am not here to diagnose you or give you medical advice. The information you will see here is research that I have done for educational purposes. So let's get down to the basics, shall we? What is gender dysphoria? Gender dysphoria is a medical term used to describe the psychological distress a person experiences because of the conflicting desire to be a different gender identity than what they were assigned to at birth. Individuals who experience gender dysphoria mostly want to live according to their gender identity. They often dress up and have mannerisms that are associated with the gender they identify with in order to feel the opposite of gender dysphoria, which is gender euphoria. Is gender dysphoria a mental disorder? Because gender dysphoria is included in the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Wow, that was a handful to say. Also known as the DSM, it is diagnosed as a mental disorder. Also, did you know that gender dysphoria had a different name before? It was called Gender Identity Disorder, GID. But because people often associate the word disorder with something negative, it was renamed gender dysphoria. Now, let's talk about gender dysphoria levels. Gender dysphoria isn't exactly black and white. It varies in levels and affects a person's gender expression differently. For example, some trans people are fine with not undergoing gender reassignment surgery, and there are others who would undergo a full transition for the peace of mind that their privates match with the gender they identify with. But please, don't think that just because a person is okay with not undergoing GRS that they are comfortable with being called the gender they were born with. Definitely not. It's important to understand and respect a person's journey with their transition. So don't judge a transgender person based on where they are, regardless of whether they've had GRS or not. Do I have gender dysphoria? Maybe you click on this video because you were curious whether you have it or not. But this video will not tell you if you have it or not. You will have to go to a medical expert who can fully diagnose you based on the symptoms you exhibit. I'll list down some of the symptoms here based on age group. But please know that these symptoms may or may not apply to you or someone you know. Please do not attempt to self-diagnose. Again, please seek medical and professional help prior to transitioning. Here are the symptoms of gender dysphoria in children, which I will list on screen. A consistent disconnect between the child's expressed gender and the one they were assigned at birth. Their frequent insistence that they are in fact of another gender. A severe preference to wear clothing made for the opposite gender. A severe want to assume cross-gender roles in make-believe or fantasy play. a severe preference for toys, games, hobbies, or activities associated with the opposite gender. A severe repulsion to their own anatomy or expressing how they want to look the opposite gender. If all of these symptoms are present, the medical expert will also check for clinically significant impairment or distress in major areas of life such as social relationships, school, and their home. This time, I'm going to present symptoms of gender dysphoria in adults and adolescents, which I will list on screen. A disconnect between the person's expressed gender and top and secondary sex characteristics. For example, breasts, body hair, that lasts for 6 months. A severe want to get rid of their primary or secondary sex characteristics. A severe desire for the primary or secondary characteristics of the opposite. A severe want to live as the other gender or an alternative one. A severe conviction that one matches the typical feelings of reactions of others or alternative gender. If at least 2 of the symptoms are apparent, which also include clinically significant impairment or distress in their social relationships, school, or home, then gender dysphoria may be diagnosed. Cross-gender behaviors may begin as early as 2 years old, and gender dysphoria can take place early in life. This may continue up to adolescence and adulthood. There are also cases of late dysphoria that starts during adolescence or much later on in life. What are the causes of gender dysphoria? There are no known proven studies of the causes of gender dysphoria yet. However, the top 3 reasons for it are the following: heredity or genes. Someone in the family may have also experienced feelings of gender dysphoria. Number 2, environmental factors. The child is raised in an environment where they are more comfortable being the opposite sex. Number 3, hormonal influences in the womb. This could be brought about by changes in the mother's diet, medication, or other factors during pregnancy. How is gender dysphoria treated? For children who have gender dysphoria, individual and family counseling is often recommended. For adults, individual or couples therapy is what it is preferred. Gender dysphoria symptoms can also be alleviated through hormone replacement therapy. Depending on the country where the child with dysphoria lives, there may be laws that will prevent them from taking hormones and/or puberty blockers. There are also places where the need for a consenting parent or guardian is necessary for the transition of a minor. Adults may also consider gender reassignment surgery or GRS. I have already made a video on this topic, which you can find it here. I will also put the link on the video in the description box below. Those are just some of the treatments that are recommended, but it really depends on the situation of the person experiencing feelings of dysphoria. The symptoms might go away after undergoing these treatments. That's when the possibility of psychotherapy may be discussed. There are a lot of people who overcome these symptoms on their own without help, possibly because of a more inclusive and accepting environment. But if you or someone you know is experiencing feelings of gender dysphoria, it's always best to consult a specialist. It's important to approach this topic with empathy and understanding. So, how do you support people experiencing gender dysphoria? You can start by respecting their pronouns. Always use their preferred pronouns. If you don't know their preferred pronouns, then please politely. You can listen to them actively and let them express their feelings without judgment. You can learn more about gender dysphoria and transgender experiences to better understand what they are going through. And lastly, you can respect their privacy by not asking invasive or prying questions unless they open up the topic themselves. These are just some of the ways that you can help while making society a more inclusive place. To wrap things up, gender dysphoria is a real and valid experience for many people. So let me just remind you to please be kind to one another. Kindness really goes a long way. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like this video and share it with others. If you have any questions or want to share your thoughts, you know what to do. Comment them down below. See you in the next video.